In this module, we'll discuss what a project is and is not. We'll learn about the PMBOK, that is the Project Management Body of Knowledge, which is also known as the Project Manager's quote-unquote Bible, and we'll cover project goals and constraints, plus why it's important to define them. In addition, we'll talk about what constitutes project success and the typical roles in a project. So let's get started. According to the PMBOK, a project is a, quote, temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result, unquote. Unlike the ongoing work of operations, which are needed to ensure that an organization continues to function effectively, projects have defined beginnings and endings. Projects are also limited by time and resources, such as money and people. To repeat, operations work continues through the life of the business, while projects provide something unique, which is developed over a defined period of time. Stakeholders are people who will be affected positively or negatively by the project and its result. They have varying influence on the project, though. For example, a major stakeholder is the customer who will use the product of the project. That customer may or may not be paying for the project work, since we can have both internal and external customers. However, that customer will have provided specifications for the product. There are many, many more stakeholders, though, and I'll provide more information later. Projects are also, quote-unquote, progressively elaborated because plans become more detailed as the project team learns more about the project. Finally, project management involves the project manager's use of both soft and hard skills. The former involves communication and leadership, and the latter includes the use of specific project management tools and processes, such as risk analysis and quality control. As noted earlier, the PMBOK is a kind of project management Bible. It's published by the Project Management Institute, an internationally recognized project management organization. The PMBOK's major components include the project life cycle, 5 processes, and the 9 knowledge areas. The project life cycle is very much dependent on the organization's needs and the type of project. For example, construction project phases are likely to include pre-planning, design, materials procurement, construction, and startup, while an R&D life cycle might include idea generation. I have a wonderful notion for a new mousetrap. Idea screening. Does the world really need another mousetrap? Concept development. Well, they might need one that functions like this. Validation. Prototype development, in other words. And then transition to operations, provided that that mousetrap is deemed worthwhile. 4 out of 5 process groups correspond to the generic project life cycle. These include initiating, in which the project is proposed, defined in broad terms, and authorized. Planning, in which the project is carefully defined and are organized so that the stakeholders can accept the entire detailed plan. Executing, which involves managing, monitoring, and controlling the project until the customer accepts the deliverables. And closing, activities after customer acceptance, including documentation and lessons learned compilation. Note that the controlling group involves assuring that the project is meeting quality standards and determining whether corrective action is needed. It is enacted during the project execution and may involve changes to the project plan, which would send the project back to the planning phase. The 9 knowledge areas involve integration, scope, time, cost, and quality, human resources, communications, risk, and procurement management. To a greater or lesser degree, we'll touch on each area in this class. Scope includes everything involved in creating the project's product. For example, you are working with a general contractor to build a new home, which is the product. If you had originally chosen to go without a fireplace in the master bedroom, that fireplace is outside the project's scope. Quality is the fulfillment of a project's requests and can have to do with meeting measurements, as in producing a widget that is within 1/1000th of a millimeter of its ideal specification. Quality can also mean that an item does exactly what the customer wants it to do. Think about an intuitive user interface that new users find simple. Obstacles or challenges may limit the ability to perform. These generally involve cost or time constraints. For example, whoever has unlimited time to complete a project or has a budget with no defined ceiling. Opportunities, on the other hand, may allow projects to exceed original expectations. So how do we determine project success? First of all, the project deliverables include the specified features, and those features must meet customer expectations regarding how they work and whether they meet technical specifications. Second, the project is delivered on time and within budget. Third, the project contributes to the success of the organization that sponsored it. That is, it builds a solid reputation and contributes to profitability. Finally, the project serves to build stronger teams that can work effectively in the future, and it fosters individual team member satisfaction also. I'd like to finish this module by talking about project roles. First, the sponsor serves as a major force in chartering the project and serves as an organizational advocate for the project. Second, the project manager is responsible for the project results, schedule, and budget. She or he also serves as the prime communicator for the project and manages the project plan and execution. The project manager often must employ influence, that is, soft skills, to make things happen, since the project manager's formal power may be quite limited. Finally, a project can't be completed without team members. Each must balance competing needs to meet both individual goals and team goals. I won't say any more about team members and their interactions, since we'll discuss them later in the term. But with that, I'll close this discussion and we'll reconnect in Module 2.